now, Bill?
I live up in Meadow Lane.
And your wife is?
Phoebe Valentine.
And you have how many children?
2 children.
And you're the owners, you and your wife are the owners of the cotton farm?
Yes, we are.
And is it your intention to request that the zoning board approve what was approved by the planning commission, that is, your use of the existing farm lane that comes in off Hamilton Avenue as access for lots 1 and 2 of your proposed subdivision?
Yes.
And there'll also be a second point of access from Highland Drive for lot number 3, which would also be a secondary access for the farmhouse.
Yes.
And you are willing to have these lanes or these driveways subject to the specifications of the Jamestown Fire Department.
Absolutely.
And you've engaged George Gifford, Mike Darbo, and Tim Dean, and William Warren as members of your team to deal with all of the professional engineering, architectural requirements established by the fire department and other boards?
Yes.
Have you engaged in discussions with the owner of lot 750 on tax assessors plat 9 on Highland Drive?
It's Jack Hefline, yes.
And you've reached an agreement with him as to the configuration and location of a driveway that would cross his property?
Yes, we have.
And that driveway would be used as primary access to lot number 3 for any structure that's ever built there,
Yes.
and secondary access to the farmhouse.
Yes.
And each of these driveways would have a turnaround or hammerhead that would permit emergency equipment to drive out if it had to come into the property.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Did you heard what I said to the board prior to your being sworn in. You had nothing to do with the creation of the very minimal frontage that exists with respect to this 32-acre property.
Absolutely not. That's why most people don't even know the farm exists.
And you've lived here all your life?
I have been coming here summers all my life and been living here full-time for a spell in the 90s until last year.
And is it your understanding that the Cottrell Farm existed as an island, that is more or less a landlocked island of land, for at least 100 years and perhaps?
As long as I've known it, certainly as long as I've known it's there, yes.
And you could have done a subdivision of 5, 6 or more lots if you put in traditional roads?
Yes, that's what the farm was initially marketed as a 5 to 6 lot subdivision.
And you've opted not to pursue that?
And we do not want to do that.
Would you tell the board what your objective is?
Our objective, my wife grew up in Vermont, and she likes animals and a farm, and we are looking forward to really just keeping the place pretty close to as it is.
Did you restore the 18th century farmhouse?
Yes, we do.
And will there be a farm family, that is someone assisting you with the management of the farm, living there?
Yes, there will be.
And when is that going to happen?
That hopefully will happen in June.
Thank you. You're asking for the existing driveway from Hamilton Avenue to serve lots 1 and 2?
Yes.
And there'll be, that driveway currently goes to the old farmhouse.
Exactly.
And there'll be a spur off that to serve the new house that you and your wife intend to do. And the third driveway is the one to Highland Drive,
yes,
across Heflin's property.
Yeah.
If this application were not granted, would there be a derailment of your plan?
Yes, there certainly would be.
And you consider that to be more than a mere inconvenience?
I would consider it to be more than a mere inconvenience, yes. It would defeat the purpose of our intention all along with this property.
And do you know how many of these old farms with land still attached to them, the old houses that exist around the island?
I'm not exactly sure. I know, of course, Watson Farm, and I'm not sure about Chase's place. That's a traditional one. There's not many.
Thank you. And you are familiar with the comprehensive plan of the town of Jamestown? Is it your intention and that the intention of your wife to maintain the rural character of this farm?
I think it's our fortunate intention that our intentions and the intentions of the town comprehensive plan are one. Yep.
And you reviewed the package that we filed on your behalf
Yes.
for the variances, and you're seeking the variances specified in that?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
The 13-acre lot is the lot on which the old farmhouse
Yes.
exists. You're going to build a new residence on the 17-acre lot.
Yes.
The 2.5-acre lot is open right now.
It's open right now, yeah.
There's no further questions?
One question, the access to, the access road that comes in from Hamilton,
Yes.
just something in the future, is there some type of agreement that keeps that right away in place in case that property sold in the future?
Well,
I know he owns both now.
the one to Hamilton, he owns.
Right.
The spur to the new house lot, that will be by recorded easement.
Okay, that's what I meant.
The planning commission requires that you submit deeded access
That's what I was asking.
for any property. So lot number 2, excuse me, lot number 1 will have deeded access over lot number 2.
Do we have a witness?
I mean, I have the gentleman here, the engineer, I think we've covered all the points. It's all specified in the planning commission report. Thank you.
Do you rest, Benjamin?
I rest.
Anyone here like to be heard in support of this application? Anyone here like to be heard objecting to it? We're good. That concludes our agenda for the evening. Let's see here. What's that? No breaks.
I got that on the record.
They didn't let them wait with your bankers. You get that? They gave them stand for a while.
Sure.
I did have one. I did have one thing. I'm sorry. This is the height of presumptuousness, but I knew you were busy tonight, so I did prepare one of those forms.
I don't want to do that, John. I'll do that. I'm going to bring precedent. We've never done it before, so we'll do it.
It is the height of presumptuousness.
Don't you ever write an opinion for a judge?